What is up guys, Stephen Harvey here. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can efficiently connect and message people within an audience that you desire, so any qualified prospects, and be able to vet through these prospects and actually do it in a way that doesn't really require any manual labor. And we're going to be using LinkedIn as our main platform. Now, LinkedIn is a great platform for connecting with all kinds of different business people across the world. So we're going to be using a tool along with LinkedIn in order to be able to connect with these kind of people and send them a message, send them an offer, or even just get them viewing your LinkedIn page, which hopefully at that time would be optimized to a point where people will actually be messaging you and connecting with you to work with you. So let's get straight into it with the tool that you're going to use. Now there are two tools that I've personally used. Other than that, there's a huge variety of tools. However, the ones I'm going to show you in this video are tools that I've used. So it just means that I can actually, vouch for them myself. But these two tools are called DuckSoup and Octopus CRM. So if we jump into my computer now, we can start off with Octopus. I can show you how it works and also the process we're going to go through in terms of connecting and messaging some of these leads. So just taking a straight look into the pricing for Octopus. So it is pretty affordable with their monthly plans here. And if you click annually, it does the price does come down about 35%. Now the plan that I'm personally on is this advanced plan. And I did pay this at the time. I think they were having like a Black Friday sale. So it actually worked out even cheaper than this. I think 40% cheaper than the total amount. And this just allows me to be able to split up my different campaigns. So if I want to target different niches, different industries, I'm able to do that and split it into different campaigns. And that just allows me to see a bunch of data of things like connection, acceptance rates, reply rates, everything like that specific to a certain industry. So I can see what's performing and maybe what's not performing. So yeah, if that's not important to you, if you're not too fussed about splitting up the campaigns, then you can go with maybe the Pro plan here. But the plan that I went with was this advanced plan here. Now there is DuckSoup as well. So before I get into the showing you of how to use Octopus, here's DuckSoup. So their plans here, it's very similar. So as you can see, $14.99 and much the same with their monthly, paying month to month with their Products plan. So this would be the recommend one. Don't go with that starter plan. Nothing that's free is really that useful. You do everything you got to obviously pay for. So $14.99 plan was all you need. Obviously that TurboDux is a completely separate thing as well, which you're more than welcome to explore, but I haven't explored it too much. And that's just monthly billing. If you do want to pay that in one annual payment, then it's going to work out to be $11.25 per month here. So let's crack straight into showing you how it works on LinkedIn. So first thing you are going to need is LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So this is the tool that, again, you do have to pay for this as well. However, you can get 1 month free. And I'll use a link, leave a link down below so that you guys can obviously head over to there. I don't get any affiliate commission. And same with the other two platforms. If you do want to use the link down below, you'll be able to sign up to those two also. However, you do get 1 month free. And I do believe after that 1 month is up, if you do decide to cancel that plan, I think it could be different now. It was the same back when I first started using it. But if you actually went to cancel your plan, they did actually offer you 50% off the next 3 month payments as well. But in terms of payments, it varies around the world because I pay in New Zealand dollars. Some people pay in US dollars. And they might pay in their local currencies, so that in terms of exchange rates, it can work out differently. But I pay the equivalent of about 99 New Zealand dollars per month, and that works out to be close to 70 US dollars per month. However, it is such a powerful tool. You can connect to all kinds of different business people, and I'm going to show you exactly that. And what I'm going to demonstrate here, again, you can connect to all kinds of people in different industries, but specifically in this video, I'm just going to be showing you just real estate if you want to connect to real estate agents. So as we can see here, we have all of these different options. So what we want to do is you want to firstly pick your geography. So if you're in the United States and you want to connect to people in the United States, then you're just going to go ahead and type that in there. You have the United Kingdom. You actually have regions in the United States, as you can see. If you're in a specific city and you just want to target people within your local city, you can also do so. Then underneath this, we then want to go down to industry. So like we said just earlier, we're going to be going with real estate and clicking on this one here. Now it's really important when we're connecting with these kind of people, we want to be connecting and messaging the decision makers, not just the employees, because they're not the ones that are going to be able to decide to use your social media marketing service, use your any kind of business really. Especially if you're in marketing, they're not really going to want to, they're not going to have any say if they're just the employee. And 9 times out of 10, they're not going to pass on your message either. So yeah, this is where we need to scroll down now, and we need to find title. So title, you can already see some people along the side here, but these are people like owners. So they want to be owners. They could be co-owners or co-founders as well. Probably not, I wouldn't do co-owners. I'll just do founders and co-founders. And then you could also, even if you wanted to, you could do other things like directors, but yeah, anything that you think might be of decision-making level. Usually, sometimes for real estate agents, most of the time they just kind of put owner or founder. Actually, of course, CEO is obviously a very important one to put in there too. But those would be your main ones as well. You also want to be connecting with the right kind of people in terms of company size. If you're going to connect with someone with, you're not going to connect with Jeff Bezos, right? So he's the head of Amazon. So then if you're trying to connect with him, it's probably not really going to happen. And he's got a company that has thousands and thousands of employees. And we can actually filter out these company sizes within here. So as we can see, within the company headcount is the one we want to look for. So we have things like self-employed. So that could be, self-employed real estate agents, or they could actually be working for a real estate agency. So we could also say 1 to 10 here. So maybe they're not so much, because real estate is obviously a little bit tricky, but they could be self-employed, but they could obviously be like within a certain real estate agency. So these are probably the main two that you want to go for. You could even push it up to 11 to 50. But as you start getting higher, generally these companies will actually have their own in-house team doing it all for them. So yeah, I would go around this range. You could even test it out. Again, like I said back at the very start of this video, we talked about how Octopus has the different campaigns that you can set out. You could easily just do real estate 1 to 10, real estate 11 to 50, and real estate 51 to 200, and you could track the acceptance rates of your connections, and also obviously track how many people are getting back to you as well, and also different messages. That's another one which we'll get to in just a second. So once we do have this list, we can see we've got 160,000 or more than 160,000 results within this list. So from here, we then want to take them over to Octopus and be able to go from there. So what we want to do is click on this extension. So once you do get into Octopus, they're going to show you how to set up a Google Chrome extension. Once you've got that Google Chrome extension set up, you're then going to click on it, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to create a campaign at the very start. So don't go do default campaign, just leave that. But you want to create a campaign. You also want to first select the action. So we want to connect with these people. But if you are looking for people that you're already connected with, or maybe these are actually people that are part of a group, so that's a little, little tip to get past the LinkedIn connection limit. So LinkedIn does limit you to about 100 connections per week. So instead of actually connecting and messaging to people, we can actually go into groups, and we can then further that and go and message hundreds and hundreds of people in this group, where I think LinkedIn, you can do maybe 200 messages in a day, and you don't actually have to be connected with these people either. So that's obviously for a separate video. However, for this one, we're just going to be connecting and messaging them. So we want to go ahead and create a campaign, and we're just going to go ahead and call this real estate. And then obviously USA, because we did USA specific, but you can go Los Angeles, USA, and so on. Create that campaign that is created there, and then how many profiles. So usually, I like to do around about 1,000. So that's obviously a lot of profiles to go through. So we can send it straight to the CRM, and it's going to take its time. So maybe through the power of editing, I might need to fast forward this. However, usually it takes around about 1 to 2 minutes, depending on how many. If you're just doing 100 profiles, it should be done within a minute. But if we're doing 1,000, it can usually take 60 seconds to 2 minutes. And just like that, those 1,000 profiles have been transferred across into our Octopus CRM. So now down here in this bottom left-hand corner, we can click on CRM, and it's going to take us over to here. And we can see right here, Real Estate USA, and these are our 1,000 profiles. Now, what I would do as well is, 1,000 is quite a lot, so maybe you could go through 100 in a certain time. But yeah, definitely if you have 100, you can actually go through and maybe clean these up. So obviously, like this one person, you just can kind of delete these people because you're going to see in a minute we're going to be able to contact them by their name. So it's mostly the first name, especially things like doctor. Obviously here, like doctor, we just want to take those out because what's going to happen is when we send our message, instead of saying hey first name, it's actually going to say hey doctor, and it's just going to look a little bit funny if it's automated. So up into the message request here, when you send a connection request on LinkedIn, no matter what, whether you send through a software like this or if you're sending it manually on the platform, you are only limited up to 300 characters. Some of those characters as well is obviously used up in the first name, so we have to keep that in mind. So we can click first name up here, and what that's going to do is that's going to automatically input their first name into that message when it goes ahead and sends that to them. Then obviously we want to put our message in here, so be like, well, firstly, let's just start off with saying hey, and then we can go ahead and say like, I help, real estate businesses generate an extra, we could say $100,000 ARR through, and then you could obviously insert. Obviously, you don't want to type in insert, but you obviously just want to insert something like that. I help real estate businesses generate an extra 100,000 annual recurring revenue through, or extra $100,000 onto their bottom line, and then you could say through Facebook advertising, through paid ads, through our client acquisition or whatever, or maybe even get generate an extra 10 or 5 listings per month or something like that. Anything relevant. If you're in the real estate niche already, then you probably already know what their desires are, and you could possibly know what their problems are too. So try and identify the problems, identify their desires, and try and offer the solution to be able to overcome those problems and reach those desires. So that we can go ahead and see that. So obviously I've kind of almost halfway through the character, so you can see it is quite small, so you do have to be really concise. Now I wouldn't go all in all sell them, but just kind of put something in there like that, and then hopefully they can get back to you and be like, hey, actually I could be interested in this. Octopus does have a follow-up function in there, so that you're able to actually follow up with these people that you've connected with. So as soon as they accept your connection, it will then send an automatic follow-up with that too. Same with the messages, we can obviously bulk message people too. So like I said, if you do input a group into Sales Navigator and export those, and then we want to message them, we're able to do so as well. But do remember, obviously, for the first name, if you have people that have really long first names, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So anyone that has more than 14 characters in their first name will generally, you have to be careful because any additional characters like 15 will account for these characters here too. Same with company names. So some people do like to use like company in here, but that company name isn't limited to just the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 characters that are here. Their company name could be extremely long as well, so you have to be really careful when you use some of these insert functions. However, when you want to go ahead and start sending, it's very, very simple. All you got to do here is go up into this where this launch button is, and then you want to input the number of connection requests with this message that you're going to send. So I could put 20 in here, and by putting 20, I would actually click on that launch button, and then it would go ahead and start sending connections to these people along with the message that you've got in this box here. Once you have sent them, they're going to end up in this little box in the bottom corner here where it says no recent history. They're going to end up down there, and then obviously through this list is going to get shorter and shorter and shorter as these people get moved from pending to send to sent over here. But I do recommend, if you are starting out with a brand new LinkedIn profile, don't go all out by sending 20 or more connection requests per day. I would recommend starting slow, maybe at around 10. Another thing you can do is on each day, you can actually change. So you could go 10 on Monday, 20 on Tuesday, 30 on Wednesday, then bring that down to 20 on Thursday, and then back to 10 on Friday, or whatever adds up to 100, because you are going to be limited to those 100 connection requests. And that's just what it comes down to for account health, because things like this for LinkedIn, they're obviously trying to be able to make the LinkedIn community or the LinkedIn environment and experience quite welcoming and quite enjoyable for people. And obviously, if there's a ton of people sending out spammy sales messages, then people on the platform are just not going to really like it. However, that is all from me today for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, then hit that like button down below, and also hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And of course, down in the description, I have left the links for these platforms. So for Sales Navigator, Octopus, CRM, and also DuckSoup. Now, if you do end up using these, or if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. But that is all for today's video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.